And since my memory has gone, which kind of helps talk about the reliance we have on the written word, please forgive me if I look over here at my notes occasionally. But I did want to start off by thanking everyone for coming. This is our second Literary Expo. We did start last year. We did start at a different time of year to show that we do experiment. So maybe we'll take this into account for next year. But wanted to thank a few people before we began. Excuse me. First of all, the Township's Community Services and Recreation Department for helping us with these rooms and all the rooms that we have here, and also for helping with some promotion for the event. This person is going to throw this back at me, but I do think we all owe a great debt of gratitude to our librarian, Joanne Grady, who's somewhere back there and will not look at me. For really being the driving force and organizer of this. I just get to look, cute out here in front. So, wanted to thank the Friends of the West Milford Township Library for some of the refreshments, again for volunteering and promoting. Some of you may have read recently that they have just finished donating $25,000 to the library in order for us to purchase brand new computers downstairs. So we will be phasing those in over the next few months. So once again, thank you for coming. And to the authors and attendees, basically we, in essence, do this for you. You are the, a little bit underscored that with this little line there. You're the reason that we're here, in essence. And what we'd like to do here at the library is try to put together, obviously, the creators and the, I don't want to say devourers, but I'll say devourers of the content that they create and of the art that they create. So thank you for this. I'm just going to say a little quick housekeeping before we go on, actually. If you're not aware, we do try to continue promoting local authors throughout the year. Downstairs, right next to our circulation desk, we do have a section for local authors. So if you are a local author and have a book that you would like to have displayed here at the library, please let us know. It's, we put it right next to where everyone has to go to check out an item anyway. So if you want your stuff to be seen, that's why we put it down there. So please let us know. After the readings, we'll do a little bit of housekeeping. In terms of housekeeping, we'll have each author who has a breakout table come up to the front here to give a little 2-minute introduction about themselves so that everyone knows who they are and can see where they'd like to go during the breakouts afterwards. And then after we finish with all of that, we're going to put these chairs away. And on the way out, as you can see, there are bags here on each of the chairs. You're more than welcome to have those bags. They are there for, we have some books that are already in there provided courtesy of Mr. Grant. And they are free to take. And then at the end, in addition to all of the wonderful books that you may or may not purchase from the local authors in their rooms, we will have some more free books here to give away. Feel free to come back in and browse through. Again, courtesy of Mr. Grant. Feel free to take them out. There are a wide variety, and we'll let you choose what you'd like to take out from there. So, with that, I'm just going to launch into, again, kind of getting back to what I was saying before, is we here at the library, we firmly believe that there are treasures all around you that you're never aware exist, that you're not, you just will pass by them all the time and have no clue of the value that they have, because you're not attuned to what it is that person's offer until you start engaging in communication, right? And that's what we feel is very important about a building like the library, about an organization like the library, is we're here to put people in communication with each other so that they can see all the hidden talents that may not be as visible right on the surface. So for us, that has meant, as an example, our walls are now being adorned with art from local artists, excuse me. So you'll see we have local artists on display right now, and we'll have a new local artist starting in November. So every few months we'll rotate that. So again, trying to show the hidden talents that the people that many times are sitting right next to you or walking right by you have that you're not aware of. And this event here today is very similar to that. This event here today is about the people that you did not know, and maybe this will reflect badly on me, but I will say that there are at least 2 current or former library employees that have books out that I had no clue had published their own works. And again, these were people that I talked to every day. And one of the people that I vividly remember when I first came here, passing by all the time, is the gentleman sitting to the right of me, Mr. John Grant, who I remember seeing as I walked in every day, and I had absolutely this much clue of the long and storied history that he has had as an author with his published works. You'll see up here some of these works. I won't bore you too much with the biography, as you can see that in the brochure that we have prepared. But just as a very quick, what I'll say is, what would you say, when was your first book published?
1981 is the official first book. In fact, there were bits and pieces before it.
Okay. I won't tell you what I was doing in 1981. How's that?
That's where you born.
No, I was 9. So 1981, a few decades worth of publishing, and we've had a few in our conversation before we, in preparation for today's event, we talked about a few topics that we'll talk about during the conversation. But I will say that one of the things we talked about, and I pre-warned him that I was going to, well, there's no such thing as pre-warned. I warned him that I was going to embarrass him a little bit, which is one of the things we talked about was inspiration. Was where do we find the inspiration for the work that we do, for everything that we try, you know, why we spend the effort to do what we do in writing these things or creating all of this stuff. And you had told me at the time that there were two different areas of inspiration depending on what you were writing. You said fiction, you had a certain time that you would get inspired.
Yeah, my best time for getting ideas for short stories or occasional novels tends to be when I'm trying to fall asleep. I get periodically affected by insomnia, and that period when I've got really nothing to do, my mind has got nothing to do except wander. That tends to be when it sort of trips over a plot, and I think, oh, that's nice, And then I either have the choice of sort of leaping dynamically out of bed and going down to the computer and sort of working away in the small hours of the morning, or remembering it until the next morning when, of course, I've forgotten it. Is a bit difficult. But that particular sort of half asleep moment is when I think of fiction. As far as non-fiction is concerned, I actually got into writing by being a publisher first. I was a non-fiction publisher, and so getting ideas for books that I want to write is very much really a matter of drawing on the same skills that got me into non-fiction publishing in the first place. So that's a lot less exotic.
but we can see some of the examples right up here on the table. So I think the first work that I was aware of was the Comprehensive Encyclopedia of Film Noir. Yeah. Not just because I could probably kill somebody with it and have it be part of the plot of a film noir and put it back under the film. That's right, exactly. But what is it that draws you to film noir in particular?
I don't know. I've always loved film noir, and at one point I sort of thought, while there are, there's even another encyclopedia of film noir, probably 2 or 3, but none of them actually did what I wanted a film noir encyclopedia to do, which was to have as much possible coverage of as many movies as possible, and also not to restrict the coverage as most of the other encyclopedias do, to American movies or to American and sometimes British. Because in fact the film noir is an international one. There's a strong school of French film noir. The Japanese have made a lot of film noir. Even sort of Kurosawa has made several film noir, and so forth. So I wanted a real international coverage, and I thought, well, who is the best person to write this book? And I thought, well, I'm standing next to it,